Now, trying to do this here, firing the arms in the downswing is an absolute disastrous thing for the vast majority of all amateur golfers to do. So I'm going to show you the 3 reasons of why you must never fire the arms in a downswing, and also the 3 reasons of why you should slow down your arms in a downswing for the vast majority of all golfers out there on the planet. Now, the first reason of why we don't want to do this, fire the arms as fast as we can in that downswing and make them the main governing force in our swing. And that is, we'll get out of sequence. So what does that mean, out of sequence? So if my arms start to considerably move first, that means they're going to outrace the rest of my body. So the sequencing of events will be arms, chest, then legs. So it's not going to be the most powerful of sequencing. We might be able to get a long shot just from a dead straight pull shot, which we're going to talk about, one of the big reasons of why this isn't a good technique as well, because what it does to the club face. But we are going to be very inconsistent. So for a lot of golfers, that would actually result in a lot of over-the-top swings, because a lot of golfers, if they have an active chest rotation, if they try and speed up the arms as well, they're just going to go even more. They would have to massively manipulate the arms in a way if they want to kind of focus on arm movement. But we would get, of course, the opposite to what we want in regards to sequencing. So that's where if we slow down our arms and feel them be nice and loose, especially as we start our downswing, that's going to flip it on its head. That's going to be what we want to do in regards to our sequencing. Because if we feel like our arms are being nice and relaxed at the top and really having them almost feel like they're waiting a little bit, that's going to give you time for the lower body and mid-torso to unwind. And then the chest and arms are going to follow from there. Just like with any sport, we're throwing a ball, what's happening? The lower body, mid-torso is going. Any athletic sport, we have that kinetic chain. So that's where with golf, we need that, because that's going to really help us for club path in the downswing. Feel like those arms nice and relaxed. Lower body, mid-torso will go first. The club's going to shallow, it's going to fall on path. That's going to help me hit straighter shots. And it's also going to help us have a little bit easier of power. Again, the only way we can hit some long shots with fast arms is if we really close off that face through the golf ball. But if we go nice and slow with the arms, it's going to help us get some easier and straighter power. But don't be fooled by me saying slow. Slow is a feeling. As you could see from that swing, did that look slow with my arms? No, it didn't. Of course it wasn't. It's very much a feeling. If we're feeling slow, that's going to get everything else unwinding, but it's important to feel that slow nature of the arms. So the second reason of why we never want to fire them arms in the downswing, and that being the governing force of our downswing, is because of what happens to the club face. So just like you saw of all the shots I just hit there when I was firing the arms, what happened to the golf ball? It went hugely, hugely left. So why that would be, because if I'm a golfer who's got a nice square club face, so matching my spine angle there, and then I try to fire the arms as fast as I can in the downswing and make them be in the governing force, my club face is square, of course. Hopefully it will still be square in the downswing if I haven't done anything funky. But because they are leading in my sequencing, they're going to have to pass through my body, which will quite often for players result in a lot of hand rotation. So then I'll have a square face, and that square face would end up closing down, so it's going to get closed, and that's how I'm going to get all these big left shots that I just could not stop hitting when I do that. So a player who has to make that work, for example, so let's say back in the day when arms were the driving force, so let's say in the 90s it was really taught about the arms being what you want to have the governing force in the downswing. But what did they think was a square club face back then? Toe to the sky. So if that toe to the sky, which is open to the swing arc, which we know now, of course I could fire my arms and time it up, because the club face would technically, if again nothing funky happens, the position of it would still be open. And if my arms are leading, I'm going to get all that wrap over as the club passes through my body, and that absolutely could square me up to target going through the golf ball. So if I flare that face open a little bit and still fire my arms, as we can see there, look, there we go. I have hit one pretty much right on target, but I fired my arms on that. So this is where I actually used to swing like this back in the day, and this is why I know this does not work, especially for myself and a lot of golfers out there, because that, I tell you, was not what happened most often. Timing was purely it. On the driving range, you could time that up, no problem. Out on the golf course, what's going to happen? Or in tournament play, what's going to happen? You're not going to have any control over your golf club at all. You'd have more control over a shovel moving through the golf ball. So that's where, of course, if we slow down them arms, again, feeling like they're slow is the key word here. We're slowing down those arms. So as now we're moving that down to that slow feeling, patient feeling, We know the lower body mid-torso is going to be leading, but that's going to mean our body rotation is going to get us through the shot first, which means that club is going to stay nicely on the arc, but the club face is going to have a lot less of a rate of closure. It's not going to stay completely square, let's say, to the arc, or have very minimal rate of closure. You can still turn it over from there if the body rotation stalls out, but you're going to have a much better chance to be able to keep that club face stable and it not turning over. And now you can actually have a square club face in your golf swing. You don't have to fan it open. So nice and relaxed. Slow feeling again. I say slow feeling. In reality, it might not look slow. Some of you might do this and look like Fred Couples afterwards. I've got a natural quick rhythm. So for me, I kind of look like a slightly calmer Ian Poulter. Well, I don't think that's probably a good thing. But so important if you want to get that club face under control, because it's going to make your body much more active. We're going to talk about a great drill to really exaggerate that at the end of this video, and you're going to feel so much more body movement when you do it. So the third reason why you don't want to fire your arm starting the downswing, and that being the governing force of your downswing, is because it's super easy to dump your speed early. So if a lot of guys really throw those arms early, especially from starting the downswing, we see so many people, of course, wanting their irons and drivers is all the same, them trying to apply as much force they can. Where's that speed going to be? It's going to be early. So that's where, if we really fire it, yes, again, we could still get a good distance just out of straight pulling it. But of course, why do we want to improve the golf swing? So we can play better golf. If we're hitting the ball far, but it's going so far left, what's the point? You know, we're not going to be playing good golf. We're just going to be getting our ball straight out the trees or grabbing another ball and playing a provisional. So again, we're going to be dumping our speed early. Again, I just won't be able to do anything other than pulling it also when if I do this with my square face. But our speed generation, ultimately simple terms, the speed isn't going to be at the right time. What is the right time for the speed? At the golf ball, not at the start of the downswing. So if we are, of course, going with slower arms, essentially, just like that nice meter you get on the PGA Tour games on your PlayStation, of where you want to get it to get into, of course, that right zone to be able to get the right distance. It's the same thing when it comes to the golf swing. So we want that speed, of course, to be applied at the ball, which is that zone where you press X on your PlayStation to get the speed on that little chart, whatever it's called, the little meter. So of course, when you're slow with your arms and you're moving through, you're going to be then applying that speed exactly when we're moving through, because your downswing is going to be ultimately just picking up speed as you go through with those nice, slower, more relaxed feeling arms. Again, it's not going to feel like you're putting any effort into it, so it's the definition of an effortless swing. So nice and slow arms. And there we go, feel a nice body turn through that. Again, I feel like I had a little bit of wrap over of that. Again, I used to be a player who had tons of that with the active arms. So even for me now, after fixing that, I still can get some shots where it slightly pulls. But it just feels much more effortless, feels like you're getting that power at the right time through impact, not too early. Okay, now 2 drills to do with you. So one drill is without a golf ball, and one drill is with a golf ball. So without the golf ball first, because I want you guys to really feel like your arms aren't doing much. So that's where if we put the club down and we just get our left arm, get up to the top of your swing and pin your left arm across your shoulder plane, just like so. So pin it back with your right arm. So then all we want to do is get up to the top of a backswing and just get that lower body mid-torso turning. Don't feel anything with this left arm. Feel it just pinning into your side, which is generally going to happen if you get really light and loose arms. You're going to get that left arm sinking in, that abduction happening there, which is going to help you then stretch out those lats, and you're going to get a stretch and release cycle going through the golf ball, which is one of the big reasons why that nice relaxed loose feeling of the arms helps so much, because it helps you load that lead side nicely. So doing this, just pinning that lead arm in, is going to give you that great feel. So let's say I've done a bunch of that. That could be my homework to do for that. So I could also do it in between shots. And now we're going to do what I call the ragdoll arm drill. So this one here, we don't really hit big full shots, just do little half swings, but I want you to feel like your arms are literally ragdolling. It's like the name for the drill. So like spaghetti arms, really, really loose. You're getting up to the top of the swing, feeling super light. So you're literally gripping it at like a 1 out of 10 in grip pressure. Again, this is just a drill. So get out, just to, let's say, a half swing, and then just turn that body. So again, for such a small little swing, it's gone very straight and it's still got not bad distance. You'll be surprised that when you start to do this and how decent you can hit the golf ball. You can really hit it a good way, especially if you're somewhere in a simulator like here, tee to green and air, in Scotland, good TrackMan facility, you can see how good of a distance you can hit it. So really ragdoll those arms, nice and short, and just turn through with that same ragdoll feeling. So you can see how my whole body kind of moves that little bit more. It starts to turn again. If we could measure my grip pressure, that would be a really cool thing to do. You guys would see that I'm literally almost dropping my golf club in the downswing. It's that light of a grip pressure, and you can see those two shots have gone pretty straight, but I wouldn't really care about the accuracy part of it because we just want to get the feeling of the ragdoll of the arms. See how much the body turns. Becomes quite robotic after a while. So let's do one more just because it's just really enjoyable to do. So this is more for my sake in this last one. So really ragdolling, like 1 out of 10 in grip pressure, just a little half swing and just kind of leave those arms. And there we go. So it's just perfect every time. So that's where, before we end the video, guys, I'll know from the comments section who's watched this one because I will absolutely get this question down there. And that is, of course, if you're getting slow arms, does that mean you're just going to get stuck? No, it doesn't. If we get the trail arm behind the body early, yeah, we're going to get stuck from there. If we move the trail hip forward early, yeah, we're going to get stuck from there. But if your arms are in a good position at the top and you're leaving them where they are and you're turning, the tilt of your body and the body rotation that you're going to gain is going to help the hand path stay in front of the body. So you're not going to get stuck. So that's where you don't need to physically feel any active movement to get the arms in front. If that was the case, again, we know golf is hard, but it'd be even more difficult if we had to physically manipulate the hands and arms to hit the club in front of us. So again, with the ragdoll drill here, you can see that I'm not even remotely going to get this club stuck because my body turn is, of course, going to force the club a little bit more out in front and my tilt of my body, and that's going to help me keep the club on me. It's a huge, huge misconception. It's quieting down the arms, making you get it stuck. It's just like with hip rotation. If you rotate the hips poorly, you can get stuck, but if you do it properly, you never would in a million years. So don't fire those arms in the downswing. You can, but it will require so much more practice to be able to perfect. You need to have other matching up pieces like an open club face. And again, you need the patience of a saint because it will make golf so incredibly, incredibly frustrating. Slowing down the arms of a feel isn't an easy one for a lot of golfers, but definitely practice it a ton. This ragdoll drill will help you a ton, and a dry drill, so really get the good work in it, and you're gonna see huge benefits with every club in your bag. So if you enjoyed the video, click that like button if you've got more golf instruction just like this. Hit that subscribe button, hit the bell button too to be notified every time I put out a video.